The city of Cape Town is planning to build a security wall on the N2, Howrun, as well as pedestrian crossing, improved lighting, landscaping and access control. It's the mother city following on the footprints of reincarnating the US-Mexican Wall, the Berlin Wall, and the West Bank Wall.
The Cape Wall has ignited intense public debate and scrutiny. Historically, walls such as the US-Mexico border wall, the Berlin Wall, and the West Bank barrier were justified on grounds of security. Yet over time they came to represent exclusion, division, and the physical manifestation of inequality. In this context, the Cape Wall raises uncomfortable questions. Is the mother city addressing crime at its roots, or is it systematically isolating itself by physically separating vulnerable communities from its posh corridors?
Haven't we heard that reasoning before? History tells us that the West Bank Wall was justified as a necessary security measure to reduce tension between Palestinians and Israel. The Berlin Wall was built to preserve West Germany's sovereignty, while the US-Mexican Wall seeks to push back the frontiers of drug cartels and criminals. So the question remains, against whom or what is the city of Cape Town trying to protect itself?
Perhaps the intention is good, securing the city. Yet the unintended consequence may be the poor citizens living adjacent to the wall would feel as though they reside in a concentration camp, cut off from the economic mainstream. Least to forget, Cape Town stands at a critical economic and social crossroads, still shaped by a deeply entrenched model of inequality and division.
Perhaps there are two sides to this wall theory. On one side stands poverty sanitized as security, on the other, opulence carefully disguised as protection. In this reading, Her Majesty Queen Helen Zille appears to draw a veil over the eyes of His Lordship Sir Ramaphosa, constructing the illusion of a fortified castle while fully aware that the true threat lies not in external criminality but in the unresolved socio-economic injustice that has festered within the kingdom since the dawn of democracy.
The wall then is not a solution but a royal-like performance, a physical assertion of control designed to reassure those inside the castle while signaling to those outside that their exclusion is both necessary and permanent. It offers royal protection to the elite few. In doing so, the DA risks entrenching the very conditions it claims to prevent, turning inequality into infrastructure and poverty into perceived enemy of the state.
The city of Cape Town has become a hot political potato, fiercely contested by politicians and a lucrative investment hive for both foreign and local elites. Like in any kingdom, walls are raised to protect her, preserve her value, and regulate who gains access to the Queen.
The irony is difficult to ignore. Around the celebrated shores of the city of the Cape Town, the so-called Wall of the Cape, whether literal, economic, or symbolic, does not merely guard the royal house. It risks becoming an instrument of constant attack. Like Brutus turning on Julius Caesar, is the DA not betraying the trust of its black supporters? When policies appear to deepen division rather than build cohesion, the question must be asked, whose interests are being served and at whose expense?
It too. DA. Walls may guard health, but they cannot build cohesion. If anything, they deepen the gap between black and white, rich and poor, reinforcing the very inequalities the country continues to struggle against. In the end, a city's true strength is not measured by how well it shields privilege, but by how inclusively it expands opportunity for all.
The royal question remains, is the DA stance an act of political self-sabotage?